When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hey guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. I'm just going to explain a thing, well, probably one thing really major for the story, before we start the story at least. Hell functions quite differently. Hell does have a city that symbolizes a human city, but doesn't hell. It does let you guys know ahead of time, so let's start the story off. As we start our story off, at a very suburban house on Grimstone Avenue, as you see several devils and demons walking out of their homes and checking their mailbox for the daily mail delivery. As you have Izuku in his house, in his kitchen, taking out a demonic-looking chicken out of his cage and grabbed it by the neck and pinned it to the cutting board with one single chop from his butcher knife, cutting the head off the chicken. Izuku begins to pluck the razor-sharp feathers, then cut it open, then start to gather all the organs and guts in 3 big bowls. As he takes the 3 bowls out to his backyard. Alright girls, it's dinner time. As 3 hellhounds come rushing out of their doghouses and begin to devour the contents in their bowls. After petting his hounds a few times, he made his way back into the kitchen to start cooking the food. I smell something good, brother. Oh, sis, you're home. Just got off work a couple hours ago. I was just picking up a few things from the house. Thanks for allowing me to stay, bro. While I'm on summer vacation. Really, summer vacation, just her vacation time. No problem, sis. You're my You're my favorite sister, after all. You're weird. Oh, sorry. You weirdo. I'm your only sister. That doesn't change the fact that you're my favorite. Izuku made 2 plates filled with food on the table as the brother and sister begin to eat and bring up this normal conversation that they would have while they're at the dinner table. So, how's your life back on Earth? It's really exciting. I don't even have to hide my horns while I'm down there. Because of because of quirks, people tend to believe that it's part of my quirk, apparently, like a mutation or whatever. As long as you're having fun, sis, that's all that matters. What is that hideous image on that cover of that magazine you're reading? It's their latest issue of a hero magazine down on Earth. And the cover of what's on the cover of the magazine is #1 hero, All Might. As Izumi hand over the magazine towards her brother, she watches him read through page as he gently shut the magazine down on the table. Fascinating, humans playing dress up. Found a very interesting article in that magazine. Since it became quite odd over the centuries, an idea popped in my head. Dear sister, Without Izuku noticing, he has a mischievous grin on his face, and his sister clearly noticed it. What are you plotting, brother? The most innocent smile on his face. Me plotting? Never. We're devils, brother. So you're definitely plotting something. Okay, I surrender says yes, I was plotting. I was reading your Human magazine and I came across a little article about villains. And that sounds really fun. Do you mean you're going to Earth? You bet your devil ass I'm going there, sister. This is going to be so much fun. As Izumi sigh, you're too much like mom. As Izuki took a phone out of his pocket and started dialing a number. Who are you calling, brother? Mom? Quite, sis. Quiet, sis. Hey, Mom. Sweetheart, it's rare for you to call me. What's going on? Are you free to talk? Just got done with a dreadful meeting with your father's generals at the palace. So, what's on your mind, sweetheart? Zumi brought home a Earth magazine about heroes and some details about villains. I think I found a good way to spend my time. And it seems like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I want to try out being a villain on Earth. I thought about doing a whole vigilante thing, but being a villain sounds a lot more fun. And a lot more interesting, and I'm technically the Antichrist, so being a goody two-shoe doesn't really fit my image. All that bring me all that brings me back. I miss those days causing mayhem on Earth. You clearly you clearly have my blessing, son. I look forward to watching your deeds as a villain, dear. Of course, Mom. I'm going to be a villain. Possibly the number one villain. But I'll look into that once I get onto Earth. I also need to pick up a few recruits. Don't expect nothing less from you, my son. Of course, Mom, and I would never join a human villain group. After all, I'm a devil, and I would not stoop to that level. If I remember right, there are some demons that live on Earth. You might be, you might find one or two suitable for your deeds. Most of them hasn't been to hell, not even once. They were, they were born on Earth. Thanks, Mom. I'll look into that when I go to Earth. Sister seems to be against the idea. I'm not surprised. Don't get me wrong. I love my daughter, your sister, but she takes more after your father than me. Concerning you, you take more for me than your father. We only had a we have a more closer bond. We just think alike, son. So, when are you going to Earth, dear? Next couple days. Can you send someone over to feed my hounds while I'm away? Of course, dear. I'll have one of the staff come over to your house and daily feed your hellhounds. Thanks, Mom, is most appreciated. You train the best hellhounds, dear. Even we have some of your trained hellhounds that guard the palace. You've definitely dominated your field. I don't expect nothing less, as you are my son. Your hounds that you train are a lot more smarter and a lot more vicious than the normal ones. You like compliments on my work. It's not the glamorous than my last job, but being in charge of a group of crossroad demons for soul trafficking and all that. It sounds interesting at first, but it's really stressful. I like my career currently. I probably should hand you over to sister before she kills me. As Izuku hands over the phone, seeing her sister's irritated face on her, expression on her face, he hands over gladly the phone to her sister. As his sister starts talking to their mother, as he went to his room to get some swim trunks on and walk into his backyard and jump on, well, basically sit in his jacuzzi that's filled with lava as he sinks in, relaxing while drinking blood wine with the bottle right next to the edge of the jacuzzi, just in case, so he wants to refill his glass. As we cut 3 days, as you see a red glowing pentagram, as the sky turns pitch black, as a eclipse came out of nowhere, as birds starts to fall from the sky dead, as Izuku appeared out of the pentagram, as the glowing pentagram slowly fades away, disappearing completely. Izuku finds himself in some sort of alleyway in Japan. So, Earth has changed quite a bit the last time I was here. The last time I remember, the last time I was here was when the witch trials was was still going on, and occasional different hunter family that would normally target werewolves or vampires. I've been away far too long. Let's see where this. Sorry. Now let's see where this will take me, shall we? Izuku decided to take a look around the city. With his horns still visible, people just think he has a mutation quirk, so they mostly ignore him. Or give him rude comments, call him a freak, but mostly civil compared to the few rude humans he came across that he had to hold his urge to rip off their head. Izuku spent the whole day looking around the city until night. Izuku is standing on top of a roof of a building, looking down below to the street, seeing two werewolves chasing down a blonde girl. I suppose I should introduce myself to the locals. As Toga is running through the street trying to lose the werewolves. Goddamn these goddamn werewolves. And I finally found a perfect prey to feed on. If they didn't have to get in my way. Lasted much. As Toga is running through the alleyways trying to lose the werewolves that are on her trail, even with her vampire speed, they're still keeping up with her. When Toga turned around the corner, as she saw another pair of werewolves in front of her, as the rest of the werewolves are on a troll finally caught up, as they all surround her in the street. As one of the werewolves speak up, we rule this part of the city, parasite. Time to die. The werewolves were about to lunge at Toga. Something fell from the sky, hitting the street hard, right in front of the werewolves and the young vampire. As all the werewolves stopped moving, I suppose jumping off the roof probably wasn't the best idea I've had. As he begins to dust his clothes off. One moment, please. I'll get to you in a moment. As Izuku took some time to dust himself off and turn around towards the closest werewolf near him. What's wrong with you guys? Stop shaking in your boots and attack him. Fine, I'll do it myself. Though the angrier the more stupid werewolf lunged at Izuku, only for Izuku to duck a little bit. Oh, sorry. Only Izuku to use a bit of telekinesis and slam the werewolf against a parked car. Well, aren't you a misbehaving mutt? I think you need to be punished. Izuku walked slowly up to the werewolf that was pinned against the metal car and grabbed the head of the grabbed a firm grip on the werewolf's right arm. Then, sorry, I messed that up. Let's try it again. Izuku walked slowly up to the werewolf that was pinned against the metal car, grabbed the head of the werewolf with his right palm, and ripped the head of the werewolf off his body, and tossed the werewolf head to the side like it was a piece of trash. Izuku noticed when he killed one of the werewolves, the others tried to attack him immediately. Izuku duck under one of the werewolf's claws, then ram his hand into the sorry, it was his knee. Ram his knee into the werewolf's chest, then spinning around, kicking the werewolf. While the werewolf was flying backwards, Izuku rammed his hand into the werewolf's chest, ripping out its heart. As he skids, when he finally stopped moving, two more down, two more to go. As he drops the heart. How are you? You're not human. Of course I'm not. I'm not. I'm not a pathetic human. I come from a far more superior species to humans and werewolves alike. I can't allow you to hurt the vampire over there. I'm quite fond of their species. Their ability to use hypnosis is top notch. I'm in a good mood right now. So, how about you lot? Get lost, go back to your pack, and tell your alpha that this part of the city is mine. And your pack has 45 hours to get out of the city before I go find your little pack in your little cave, wherever you hide up, and I'll rip your pack apart, one by one. It's your move. It's your move, boys. Survive? I would go for that option, really, personally. Or you could join your little comrades over there. Your choice. Uh, but make a choice fast. I'm not a very patient devil. As he pays attention to his watch on his wrist, head back to the pack. This is not over, whoever you are. You watch the two remaining werewolves that are alive with a smile on his face. Izuku turn around, only to see only see Toga in a fighting stance. She is about to attack. She doesn't know what's his attention towards her yet, so she's very on edge. Don't worry, vampire. I mean you no harm. Who are you? And what do you want? Yes, I've been a little bit rude. Allow me to properly introduce myself. I'm Izuku, and I'm a devil from hell. Togo eyes widen. She's heard about devils, but never met one herself. Her mother has told her a lot about them. When she was growing up. After all, she comes from a pure blood of vampire family. They have many stories about devils over their lines. Why did you save me? Simply because I don't like werewolves. Not too fond of them, personally. Mm, filthy creatures. But I'm quite fond of the vampire species. After all, your species creation was my mother's doing. Simply because I just wanted to. Toka did notice her phone was going off as she noticed she missed about 40 missed calls. As she sees her caller ID, oh crap, I'm so dead. That you are, daughter. As Victoria comes out of the shadows, out of the alleyway, you've been a naughty little girl. Hunting in the wolf territory. Isn't really a hunting for say, as Toga's rubbing her two index fingers together, looking down. You know you can't lie to me, dear. I will be deciding on your punishment when we get home, young girl. Young lady. I do apologize for my rude daughter's behavior, son of Lucifer. You know of me. Of course I do. Alongside your mother being the reason why our species is here in the first place. And your mother did mention you were coming when we last spoke, about a couple hours ago. Me and your mother go way back. You're more than welcome to stay with us until you figure out what you want to do. I do need a place to stay. It would be a pleasure, miss. Just Victoria. It's a pleasure to meet you, Victoria. You can call me Izuku. As he gently placed a kiss on Victoria's hand. As she smiles at him, your mother did say you were a smooth talker. You're definitely Lilith's son. Let's get out of here. I really don't want to stay in werewolf territory longer than I need to. Last thing we need is start another war. We don't need to worry about them for very much longer. I will be removing them from the city. Of course, Prince, if you deem them unnecessary, there's not much I can stop you. There's not much I can do to stop you. Nor do I want to. I don't plan to act anytime soon. I'd give them about around 48 hours. If they're smart, they would just move on. We'll see. You plan to do on Earth, Prince? Oh, that's quite simple. I just want to experience what the humans call a villain. It sounds interesting and exciting. After the two vampire and devil finally got out of the werewolf territory, Ezekiel can see a huge mansion in the distance. As they step in front of the front door, daughter, show our guests around and bring him to his room. Then we'll see for what I will decide on your punishment. Understood, Mom. Toga linked with Izuku's arms with hers and walked around the mansion to show him around. Sorry about what was so hostile towards you. Girl can't be too careful. Quite alright. I don't hold it against you. It's nice to officially meet you, Toga. It's a pleasure, Izuku. Several hours, Toga showed Izuku around the mansion. When he got to his room, Toga went on her way to see her mother for her punishment, leaving Izuku to his own devices. Fire starts to emanate from his hand, forming into a book. As he began to sit down on the chair in the room and sat there and read his book. He read the book for about 20 minutes, Later, he got a knock on the door to see one of the maids of the mansion to let him out of the room and led him to a larger room where he sees the lady of the house, and her daughter. Oh, Izuku, I hope your room was to your liking. It is. Thank you for your hospitality. You're quite welcome, dear. I've already decided on your punishment, daughter. Considering Prince Izuku is, here on Earth, to be a villain, I find the idea very exciting. Therefore, daughter, you will serve the prince in this endeavor. After all, you do have your own desires to do that whole villain thing. You can't stop talking about it. And I take it you are looking for recruits? That I am. I have no problem with it. And it's settled. So what's your next move? Prince. First, I need to locate a base of operation. Once I find a home base, then I can start looking for bodies to fill, because I plan to make my own villain organization. And I also need to figure out a name for my little villain group, but I'll worry about that for another time. And I have no doubt Miss Tug over here will be a great help. She can give me the rundown on who's the big players around here, for humans, at least. As a proud, as a proud, pure-blooded vampire family, you would have access to certain information that's not acceptable, or to the the general public. Naturally, we have those. Information is key to win any battle, and my family proud ourselves on that. After all, I learned from the best. Your mother, Lady Lilith, taught me herself in many different subjects. I wouldn't be the woman I am today without her help. My darling daughter has the ability to transform into anyone as long as she's had a sample of their blood. She would be a great asset to you. Quite an impressive ability. Indeed, Miss Togo over here is going to be a great help, especially with intel. With that power set. Togo was a berry from being praised, as she brought up the location where brought up a place. I do know a place where you can set up shop. It's it's in the slums, but the buildings, last time I checked, was in good condition. It's bordered by a huge wall. I guess it used to be a mental asylum. It was abandoned about 15 to 20 years ago. Lady Victoria, can you set up the buyer so I could purchase the land it's on? I know that place where my daughter mentioned. I know the owner of that property. I'll set it up for free. I'll set it up for you. And no cost, of course. That's the least I could do for the son of my teacher. Thank you, Lady Victoria. I'll be heading back to my room. Easy began to walk away to go back to his room to relax some more. Daughter, I know the likelihood of someone hurting him or killing my teacher's son is unlikely, but I want you to protect him nevertheless. I'll take care of it, Mom. Judging by who his parents are, he's pretty much the Antichrist. That he is. 4 days has passed. The property has finally been handed over to Izuku under a fake name to keep people from connecting the property to him. Izuku is walking around the abandoned mental asylum with Toga attached to his right arm while walking through the building. This place looks perfect. Now we just need to find some recruits. Any idea, Toga? Any ideas, Toga? What I've heard on the streets, there's a decent good sized gang. Only what I've seen so far is made up of demons. The only male demon in this gang is the leader, I guess, and the rest of them are female. At least that's what I've been hearing. They don't seem to be, what I've been told, they don't seem to like their leader very much. So if you remove him from the equation, I believe they would be quite thankful and follow you. After all, you are the son of the devil. Very well, we will go with that. I want you to scout ahead and find out their location of the base and return to me once you have the information. Of course, boss. As Toga let go of Izuku's arm and began to skip away out of the mental asylum towards the direction where the gang is currently located. At least last time she knows, sorry, the last location she knows of, they were located at. It only took Toga 3 days to come back with the information to Izuku. Izuku decided to sleep for the night and attack the base tomorrow night. The next day, they waited till nightfall as you see Izuku standing on top of a roof, staring down at the abandoned hotel where female demons would come out and in frequently. It seems there are several humans in their number, Toga. Just that as well. You can kill all the humans if you want, but knock out the demons. It's time to get this party started. As Izuku jumped off the building and landed in the middle of the street, making a small crater when he landed on the hard street surface, Izuku approached the hotel and stopped in front of the female gang members that seems to be have a feeling a mixture. Well, sorry, has it seems to be a mixture between humans, more say witches, mixture with demons. Greetings, ladies. I come here to kill your current leader. It comes to my attention that you are not satisfied with your current leadership. And this lovely lady over here is my vampire companion. Now, if you would you could either choose two options. You either will step out of our way and keep your lies, or you can die. Your choice. Step aside, live, don't die, probably very painfully. But I'm not a bad guy. I'll give you a chance. Togo wasn't surprised to see all of the demons kneel to one knee, as they all said in unison, "As you wish, Prince of Darkness." As Izuku didn't like that title, but he went with it. "I'm very pleased by your decision." As everyone walked walked to the side, allowing Toga and Izuku to walk into the hotel without much trouble. Izuku and Toga finally got to the demon leader. Izuku noticed a female demon chained up to the ceiling. Izuku can tell she's been roughed up a little bit. "So you must be the sad excuse of a leader." "Excuse me? Who the hell are you?" "I don't really care. Kill him." "What are you doing, bitches?" "I gave you order. Follow it. Kill him." Izuku has a bright smile on his face. "They're no longer following your orders anymore." Izuku begins to roll up his sleeves of his, on his sleeve on his suit. He's wearing a suit anyways. Roll up his sleeves as he walks up to the demon. "I've always been a firm believer that a true leader should get their hands dirty once in a while. It always brings me extremely, it always satisfies me to put worms like you in their place. The demon Derek begins to throw out fireballs at Izuku, only to see his fireballs has no effect on Izuku whatsoever. When Izuku when Izuku noticed the demon was trying to bolt it or ditch, basically escape, Izuku took him out of, well, flinged him across the wall with his telekinesis, slamming him into the wall. Where do you think you're going? You're a sad excuse for a demon. The fact that you don't know who I am tells me you've never been to hell. And I find that hilarious. You're a demon that's never been to hell. You might think you're a big fish here on Earth. Allow me to change your perspective of things. You're nothing but a guppy fighting a shark. You're nothing. The way I see it, humans have more value than you do. What is your name, worm? It's Derek, you bastard. I'm going to kill you. Kill me? Now that's hilarious. As Itsuki starts to laugh, mocking the demon, without no regard. That I would like to see. But sadly, you're going to die. Not quickly, very slowly, and painfully. When I'm done with you, when I'm done with you, when you felt enough pain and suffering, I will rip the soul out of your body, demented, tortured soul, regardless, and I'm going to devour it. I do hope you resist, otherwise, this would be boring. Shall we begin? What bone should I crack first? Any suggestions, Tuggadeer? Go for his arm, his right one. I want to see that snap. Of course. Derek tried to resist by throwing several fireballs, only to see his fireballs not even taking one damage out of him. In panic, he emblazed his fist with fire, only to see his fist stop with one hand. Izuku begins to crush his fist, making the demon kneel down to one knee. That's much better. That's where your place belongs. Under my boot. The female demons are watching their leader get what he deserves, finally. He was far too powerful for them to rebel against. Izuku slammed his knee into the demon's face, then put his hand over his face, then pick him up the ground. With his telekinesis, flew him across the room. Very disappointing. You're a embarrassment to your kind. Simply pathetic. You're no demon. You're even lower than a human. Such a pity. Because you're a demon, fire won't have much effect on you. Well, at least anything outside of holy fire. That means I'm going to have to get creative. Izuku watches Derek pull a gun out and start to fire at Izuku, panicking, only to see the gun, only see the bullets completely useless. A gun? Are you serious? That's just sad. As he yanks the gun out of his hand with his telekinesis, as the gun starts to catch fire, as it forms into a totally different type of firearm, You're just embarrassing yourself. Izuku disappeared and reappeared right in front of Derek and ripped off his right arm of his body, off his body, and began to beat him with his own arm. As Izuku let go of the severed arm and paid attention more to the gun on his other hand while he was still holding the gun out. I have an idea. This is perfect chance to use them. I've always had a fascination with holy weapons. As a devil, fire starts to erupt from his hand as a fire starts to form into a small wooden box appear in the palm of his hand as he opens it up to see several, about 4 or 5 white bullets that have a cross engraved into them that was blessed then holy water. As he picks them up, as it's burning him, but he doesn't really care. He completely ignores it like it doesn't even bug him whatsoever. As he puts the bullets in the chamber of the gun, shooting 2 rounds in both of Derek, the demon, in his kneecaps, as Derek falls down crying in pain. Izuku continues to shoot him with the holy bullets in both of his left and right shoulder. Izuku lifts him up in the air with his telekinesis and took the remaining bullets out of the gun and force feed them down his throat as he made the demon swallow by kneeing him in the stomach, swallowing the holy bullets as he starts to scream out of pain. As Izuku begins to have him float closer to him, as black electricity starts to emanate from his hands, as Izuku begins sapping him with electricity. When he was satisfied that he suffered enough, he slowly put him out of his torture. By ripping out his soul, then tossing the dead body across the room, then begin eating the soul by sticking it in his mouth, then swallowing it. Izuku looked up to the chains to see the demon up in the ceiling as the chains as the chains start to heat up and turn red as Izuku catches the demon in his arms. Lena only had enough strength to thank him before she passed out. Sleep for now. Heading back with this one. Run up the rest of them and bring them to the hideout. Boss. Izuku disappeared from a glowing pentagram underneath him, then reappeared in the mental asylum as he took the demoness to his room. He laid her on the bed and began healing her up with magic. After several days of healing, the female demon finally awoken. You're safe at my headquarters, and the rest of your demon comrades are here as well, alongside a majority of the human witches. Now I remember, you're the one who saved me. She was about to kneel in front of him. Izuku stopped her from kneeling on her knees. There's no need for that. I'm not one for formalities. Just call me Izuku. And you are? My name's Melina. Is that bastard dead? Yes, I made sure of that. Good. May I ask, why were you chained up to the ceiling like that when I found you? Yeah. Long story short, I refused to sleep with him, So he tortured me and chained me up on the ceiling to to break my will. That pig disgusts me. I'm glad he's dead. It's a good thing he's dead then. But my way of running things are not the same as that sorry excuse for a demon. What do you mean? The commander of your little gang, I'm making this gang into a villain organization. And you, alongside with the humans that are here, fall under my command. You're more than free to walk away. I'm not forcing anyone. They will either remain or serve me willingly or don't serve me at all. I'll follow you, Izuku, sir. You freed us from that bastard, so that's the least we can do. I don't know about the rest of the girls, but you have my allegiance. Why don't you lay back down and get some rest? You look exhausted. You still haven't fully recovered. I healed you, but you're still going to be weak. Before Izuku could leave the room, Melina grabbed onto his wrist. Not that I'm weak or anything, but I don't want to be alone. Can you stay with me for at least till I fall asleep? I don't see why not. As she shrugged his shoulders and began to sit down in a chair. Thank you, sir. Izuku, like I said, pulled up a chair and began reading from a book that he has. He would occasionally look towards Melina to see her fast asleep. Izuku didn't notice till the Izuku didn't notice someone come in until they walked through the door. As he placed his finger against his lips, telling Toga to keep quiet. As he gets up from the chair and quietly walks out of the room and closes the door, and follows Toga into the hallway. As they walk, like I said, in the hallway, how many did we recruit? Pretty much all of them, except a a few humans. Good. So what's the next step, boss? I want you to. I want to pick. I want you to pick anyone that would be good for information gathering. Get a squad together. I want some information on the heroes and villains alike. Until we have the intel, we need to lay low. Sure thing, boss. I'll have my mother send over any intel we have on any of the hero or villains. That's on record. Thanks, Toga. As Izuku ruffles Toga's hair. Before you leave, boss, I told my friend what you're planning, and he seems interested. His name is Dobby. What is he? Vampire, human, werewolf, demon, warlock? He's a human that was turned into a werewolf. He's the only werewolf I like being around. What's the situation on the local pack that lives in the city? They haven't moved. They haven't moved yet. Their pack house is heavily guarded by their pack members. I'm going to have to deal with them eventually, but I'm going to go see your friend. You'll find him at the local werewolf bar. He likes to spend his time mostly there. Don't expect a warm reception. They don't like any others outside of being a werewolf. Here's the address. As Toga handed a piece of paper that had the location on it of the werewolf bar over to Izuku. As Izuku put it in his pocket and turned around, and that's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys had a good night and day. Judge my time stones. time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.